Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys we're going to be doing part 2 of my collection video. Now I've already done a video on my deck collection as of right now, and I've already done one video on my collection part 1, but this is part 2 of that of this series that we're going to do for the next couple of weeks till we go through all my binders of different things. So let's start off where we left off, which was with Thousand Eyes Restrict and talking about Scapegoat format. So as you can see up here, we have just some common giant Trunades. I always keep giant Trunades around because I used to use a lot of the common ones, and when giant Trunade became really popular, were originally with OTK-esque decks, things like, I guess you could say, Cyber Dragon when it came out originally, and with Cyber System and OTK, that's when Giant Trunade became originally more popular, but I used the commons back then. Then we just have some common painful choices that I got out of a Dark Beginning pack years ago. We got this one card over here called Fake Trap. It came out of SDI, and I've never understood this card. I've never understood why this card's in the game. Yes, I understand the purpose of it, but it's just pretty much like your opponent wastes MST on this trap that does nothing. It just, I don't get it. And then they have a laughing monkey on it and it says false. So I'm just like, I don't get this trap card at all. But next we have some really interesting old school cards for you old school players out there, or if you ever played in Thousand Eyes Restrict format. We have some old Megamorphosis. Megamorphosis is a banned card, and in combination with level 1 monsters like Magician of Faith, Scapegoats, and things of that nature, other good level 1 monsters, Sinister Serpent, Megamorphosis made Thousand Eyes Restrict that much more easier to go into and make him that much more abusable. So these are some original first edition ones that I got way back in the day. I've collected some more over the ages, but my original ones are in here that I used to use. They were commons back in the day. I used commons. Then we have just some common ultis, not ultis, ultra, excuse me. I believe it is ultis. Just Thousand Eyes Restricts that I got out of packs, and me and my friends played together way back in the day in Scapegoat format, and I still use the deck, play Scapegoat format, you know, every couple of years. I haven't done it in a long time though, but I have played it. And then we have just one secret Thousand Eyes Restrict that I picked up out of a special edition box, I think back in like 07, 06. Way back then. But these are my original ones I used to play with, and these are my original Megamorphosis, and just a secret Thousand Eyes Restrict to keep around. I may eventually rebuild a Scapegoat format deck. They're really fun. So down here we have some Karibos that I just keep around because it's Karibo. It's a furry hairball. What's not to like? We have some old Graceful Charities, which I believe came out of the Pegasus Structure deck. These are like just some super ones. And the artwork looks really amazing because of the ink back then was a little bit darker, it looks like. Then we just have some common mass drivers from Frog FTK format, if you guys lived through that craziness. And then we got over here, we have some nostalgical cards here. We have Gearfree the Iron Knight, a rare one from DBI. We have Sangan, my original Sangan that I used to use from Metal Raiders. This is my original rare Sangan that I used pretty much in every deck up till he got banned. This was my favorite one. I didn't use it, you know, any different high rarity. I just used the original ones that I used to use from back in the day. They only have this one card that I really like because of its artwork, and it's called Unstable Evolution. It's got a really cool, little interesting artwork, if you can see here. So first you have a monkey or a gorilla, which evolves into a human, which evolves into an alien type figure, which is really interesting. Then we have Enchanted Javelin down here, which is really cool. This is a card that I originally got introduced by playing the original, you know, Battle City games and Millennium Duel games that you used to play with on your Game Boys and Game Boy Advances back then. And Pegasus used to use this card, and every time I run into him, he activated this card. I'd be like attacking him for game, and then he would activate Enchanted Javelin, and I was like, fudge you, Pegasus. And so I tried it out in real life, and I really liked it, so I keep this card for those good old memories. Then we have Gearfree the Swordman, which is, you know, you have Gearfree up here, Gearfree the Swordman. Gearfree has different forms if you didn't know that already. Then we have Farrier Meteor Crush, which is actually a really cool card. Back in the day, it was actually a really interesting card. It gave all monsters the ability to pierce, so it was an equipped spell card. But a lot of monsters nowadays already have this effect built into them now, like Spear Dragon or Lanceworm Dragon, which is cards, you know, Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon. They all have that piercing ability, but they all started with Farrier Meteor Crush. Then we have down below, we have just some other common spell cards. We have some common Monster Reborns. I never really used the hollow ones because back in my day, they just had a whole bunch of commons floating around coming out of the structure decks until it got banned. I think it should come back. I mean, Monster Reborn is, in my humble opinion, is not as broken as Soul Charge. Soul Charge is a lot more powerful than Monster Reborn. That's just my humble opinion there. Next we have just some leftover charged Light Brigades, just common ones out of a structure deck. Then we have my only hollow version ulti of Heavy Storm that I got. Like, I always use commons and stuff with like the common spells and traps because back then they were just readily available, and throughout the years I just picked up more of them. So next we have over here we have the Gravity. How do you pronounce this card? The Gravity of Enhancing. I never can pronounce that card's name, but I really like this card because if you look at the artwork or look it up online, it's really, really cool. It looks like somebody going Super Saiyan, and you see all these rocks flying around. You know, when somebody turns Super Saiyan in Dragon Ball Z or gets power up, that things start flying around, and that's what it kind of looks like right there in that picture. It looks really cool. Then we have Token Sunday. So I guess the goblins are eating Sunday tokens or they're giving thanks on Token Sunday, like Holy Sunday, like in the Catholic Church. I don't know, but I've always liked the token-esque cards. They're just kind of cool to look at and cool artwork and cool story. Then we have just some Pot of Avarices that I have left over from back in the day. This is just the one I got out of the 10 that it originally came out of. Then we have a Show and Jump Dark Magician. Honestly, even though everybody really likes the red Dark Magician that Arcana used in the original Yu-Gi-Oh show, I've kind of liked the alternative artwork that they did for the anniversary from Show and Jump Dark Magician a little bit more. Yes, the red Dark Magician is really cool, but this guy just looks so awesome. He's got white hair, dark armor, he just looks badass. Next we have Infirmity Guard. These are actually misprints ones because the outside of the card, the figure is actually hollow, and the inside is not hollow. And it's supposed to be because it's an ultra, excuse me. I always get my rarities mixed up, so I apologize. So next down below we have Stygian Dirge, which I really like the card because I've always liked the biker archetype that Konami's kind of tried to make in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh, but they have no synergy to work together. And that's one of the archetypes that I know a couple of other players have suggested. Hey Konami, make a pirate archetype, make a a biker archetype, do something. Then we have Cunning of the Six Samurai. Back originally when I started playing Six Samurais, this was an amazing card. It was a quick play spell, which made it extra good. I recently played it about a year ago, but then Soul Charge came out, so I took it out and put Soul Charge in. But it's a really cool card because you contribute like a dead Six Samurai monster on the field and bring out like another one from the graveyard onto the field. So since Sheen was at 1 for a long time, you could just tribute like a dead Elder, bring out the Sheen back from the grave, and it could go attack, do whatever it want to. So it was really nice. Then we have Shadow Spells, which is the original Fiendish Chain. It's got chains and everything. Kind of Fiendish Chain is the upgrade of this card because this card does not stop affect monster effects, but Fiendish Chain does stop monster effects. So it's kind of like the upgraded version of it, Fiendish Chain is. But that's the old card we used to use instead of Fiendish Chain back in my day. Then we have over here, we have some original Scapegoats that I used to use from back in the day. We have Backup Soldier. I just like the artwork in general. Then we have the Black Luster Rituals. I will say this now, I may or may not, I've considered doing it maybe, is building like a Black Luster Soldier deck. Or building the fusions between Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and Black Luster Soldier. I've considered doing it, but I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Then we have Flutes of Summoning Dragons. I have a whole bunch of those. Then we have down below, we have the Broken Return from the Different Dimension. This card was good for many, many, many years. Even before it got banned, it was a good card in my opinion, going all the way back to when it originally came out in Invasion of Chaos, I believe. Then we have Ultimate Offering right here. Very good card. I think the card could come back to 1. That's just me talking. I know we have Pendulums now, but you can mash summon on the field. So Ultimate Offering is not as, in my opinion, a little bit as broken as it used to be. Then we have Flame Swordsman. This is the original rare version of it. I just love iconic cards. Then we have Berserk Gorilla. This is the only one I have left, but this is a rare first edition one. Now, you may ask yourself, what the heck is Berserk Gorilla? Well, back in the day, if a monster had over 900 attack, or 1,900 attack, besides the exception of Gemini Elf and Mechanical Chaser, which were kind of the biggest normal summon monsters that you can normal summon without drawbacks. There really wasn't no good monster above 1900 attack with no drawbacks. Berserk Gorilla was kind of the exception to that. When he came out of IOC Invasion of Chaos, again, a very crucial pack that really upped the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It changed the entire dynamics, in my opinion, back then. But Berserk Gorilla was really cool because the fact that what you could do is he had to attack no matter what, and if he didn't, he died. But he was a 2000 beat stick that just had to attack each turn. And if he didn't, he died because of that reason. So he was really interesting, he was really cool, and he was the one with the least bad drawbacks back in the day. Then we have a really Ultimate Insect level 5. I just like the original ulti versions of the Yu-Gi-Oh! From the Yu-Gi-Oh! Days. And I like what they've done with the new ultis as well. They look really cool, like Deltaros, Pendulum Dragon, whatever you look at. They just look a lot better than the other ones. They don't look as they look more artistic, just like the old days. I really like this one. Then we have Time Seal over here, which is a banned card that I have a lot of those cards. Same thing goes for some cards down here you're going to see in a second. We have cards of Safe Return, a really broken card. That one is from LON. Then we have Ring of Defense, which is kind of the opposite of Ring of Destruction. Kaiba used this card in the anime, in the final arc of the season, I believe. But it's a really cool card. It's actually a good card in combination. You know, when Ring of Destruction originally was at 3, excuse me, it was actually a good counter to that. And against burn decks, it was actually not that bad either. Then we have Magical Swordman level 4. It's an ulti. I really like this card and its artwork. Same reason. I've always loved level monsters and level monster support, which I wish they would get. Then we just got some Kamini, Gemini Elf twins, the most famous twins in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess you could say, and I've always liked them. And then we have Metal Reflecting Slime. This is a really cool card that back in the day, a 3000, but it was a monster trap card. So it was a monster in trap form. And it was a 3000 defense level aqua monster. And the cool thing is that you could use it back in the day for, you know, stopping your opponent from attacking you, then summoning a tuner, and then synchroing up for a big monster if you wanted to. Or nowadays, what you can use it for is you can use it for synchroing, exceeding. I don't think you can exceed with it, but I can't remember the exact ruling with monster tokens. But you could synchro it with it back in the day. It was just a big defensive wall that it could really bide you some time if you were really falling behind in the duel. And then we have a secret Sinister Serpent over here, which I have. A secret version of that, which is really, really nice. And maybe he'll come back one day. Well, he's coming back in the Japan with the errata, that is. Just another Dark Magician girl. Then we have Guilford, King of the Desolation, which is a really cool card that I have. I like it. It's another ulti that I've always liked the artwork of, even though it's not that good. Light Force Sword, Yugi used this in the anime over here. Then we have Super Rejuvenation. If you ever played in Dragon Ruler format or against Exodia before it got banned, you know how good that card is. Yada, the card I love to hate. If this card's too good still. Just Desserts, which is a really cool burn card from back in the day. Then we have just a comment from one of the battle packs, Dark Magician of Chaos, that I keep around in case he ever comes back. Then we have Magical Exemplar, which is a cool card I used to use back in the day a little bit more when magic counters were a thing. First edition Tsukiyomi from back in the day, rare. This card was amazing back in the day, not so much anymore, but it was an amazing card in scapegoat format and whatever. It was a very versatile card back in its heyday when it first came out. Then we have just Thunderous, because I've always loved Monarchs, Thesseros, the Fire Monarch, and ulti. Big Burn, which is another burn card from back in the day. We have the original Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon artwork from Joey's Structure deck. Then we have, which is all in near mint condition. I got 3 of them from back in the day. Then we have Chronobic Alliance. This is an ulti version of the card. The card's awful. I don't remember what its effect does, but I've always liked the artwork. Then we have Trap Dust Sheets. I have a whole bunch of them from back then because I did play in that format as well. Very good card. Card should not come back unless it gets a very heavily errated, because looking at your opponent's hand is just a very good thing in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Seeing what your opponent's going to do and then picking apart their hand is just ridiculous, in my opinion. But this is a very good card, and I still play that. I've actually played it sometimes when we have banned card day at like one of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Stores I go to. I play this card because I love picking things, looking at my opponent's hand, and Oh, you're going to do that? Okay, we'll do that. Then we have Change of Heart from Metal Raiders. This is an original Ulti version, I believe. It actually says on it, it actually says spell card instead of magic card. Excuse me, actually, no, excuse me. It says magic instead of spell. Yeah, because originally before they had that confrontation between Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything used to say Magic on it, and that's from that back then. It's really cool. Hopefully it comes back one day so I can play that again. I used this for many years, this exact one. Then we have Island Turtle, because that reminds me of the Lion Turtle from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Then we have another just alternate artwork, Red Eyes. We'll try to speed it up here a little bit, guys. We have Harpy's Feather Duster. Oops, excuse me. Let me move that down for you guys. We have Harpy's Feather Duster over here, which is legal in the OCG, but not here. So I keep my old Harpy's Feather Dusters that I used to use from back in the day right in this spot. Then we have just a cool old Synchro Monster that I've always loved its artwork from. We have the real Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and the fake Red Eyes Darkness Dragon. Then we have Field Commander Ronets, because I've always liked those Field Commander-esque cards like Marauding Captain, Freed the Brave Warrior, and things like that, like I've said before. Future Fusions from back in the day, the rare versions, I still play those. Sometimes I play them just for fun. Thousand Eyes Dragon, everybody remembers this from the anime with Time Wizard and Baby Dragon. Imperial Order from back in the day, an amazing trap card, still a good trap card. Just shuts down some decks, just crazy. Then we have over here Makiara, the Destroyer, a card that we never saw over here in the TCG, but in the OCG it's actually banned. It's banned here as well, I believe, if I remember correctly. I can't remember. Then we have Reaper of the Nightmare. It's just a card that you could use with Instant Fusion if you want to make a zombie-esque deck with it. It's a dark, level rank 5. It's pretty cool, but I use it because I like keep it there because it's artwork. Then we have Samurai. How do you say it? It's Samurai Master. I can never pronounce this card, but this is actually, if you recognize Flame Swordsman's sword, this is it using its attack. And if you remember the Gate Guardian episode that Flame Swordsman used to that attack, that Joey commanded to, that's the attack name right there. Then we just have down here, we have Tribe Infecting Virus, Infinite Cards, Self-Destruct Button, just some cool band cards that I still like playing for fun. Then we have a Yubel from the Raw Mega Pack, Fishborg Launcher, and Final Countdown, which is a crazy card. Then we have over here, we have Kaiser Seahorses from, I believe it was the second Seto Kaiba structure deck that came out from Battle City. Vampire Lord from the Tin. Light Swarm Saber. No Light Swarm player uses it, but I just like the artwork. Then we have a Show and Jump Supremacy of the Sun. One of my old, I think I have two of them, but one of my original Goblin Attack Forces ulti from one of the packs from back in the day. PSV, by the way. But I love this card. This card was amazing with final attack orders and things like that. Then we have Fiber Jar, resets the game. This is a rare one I got from Dark's Beginning. I never had the original one. It was too expensive for my day, but I did get it from Dark Beginnings pack from back then. Then we had Premature Burial, Behemoth, the king of all the animals. If you've ever seen Threatening Roar, this is the monster that's on Threatening Roar, actually. And then we have Berserk Shocker, which is a card that I believe, it's really cool artwork. It's really nice because of the darkness of the card in the red. But I think it was a card that Merrick used against My Valentine, I believe it was. So I'm going to hurry up here. We got 3 more pages. Let's see if we can get it done. We have Swift Guy, the Fierce Knight, Metal Z-Tank, Skull Dice. I won this card here. It's called Sinister Night Dragon. I won this card in a tournament because it was a card that Rex Raptor used. People consider it was like a Toys R Us tournament back in the day. Royal Oppression, my couple Royal Oppressions I have left. Cold Wave, and we'll finish off with this page down here. We have United We Stand, Jar of Greed Hollow, and Yubel from one of the I think it was Dark Beginnings. I can't remember which pack it came out of, but original Yubel first edition. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this second part of my deck binder video. We'll have another one next week. But till next time, guys, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and give them a thumbs up if you really enjoy them. I'm just talking about a little bit of nostalgia as I go through here, but I hope you guys all enjoy them. And until next time, guys, take care and good luck dueling to all of you.